yesterday, what we ended up doing was proving this entire proposition is a tautology through a long, convoluted process that I'm sure most people would not enjoy doing, especially when you have a reasonable approach like the truth table to such a reasonable problem. So in this problem, there really doesn't need to be too many rows. The reason why I got so many rows right here is because I've noticed there were three variables, p, q, and r. And if you want to know how many variables are in a truth table, it's 2 to the n. So 2 to the 3 variables, which is equal to 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we line up our variables, p, q, r. A little trick, if you have 8 rows, you'll do 4 true, 4 false. If you have 16 rows, for example, you'll do 8 true, 8 false to begin with. And then just start going down from there. So this is going to be true, 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 false, 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 false. So we just want to have every single combination of P, Q, and R possible to see if every single combination leads to true or a tautology. So with Q, since there were 4 trues, we're going to turn it down to 2's. So true, true, false, false, true, true, false, and false. And same for R. We're going to go down again. True, false, true, false, true, false, true, and false. The next segment that we're going to do is, for example, this portion in here of the left side. So Q implies R, followed by this entire expression. P implies Q implies R, followed by these two expressions, which are P implies Q and P implies R, followed by the entire expression, which is P implies Q, which implies P implies R. The last expression is the entire proposition itself. So P implies Q, which implies R. And that entire segment implies that P implies Q, which implies P, which implies R. Now the goal of this, once again, is to make sure that every single answer that we get right here is true. So we got to start working this way. So let's see. Q implies R. That's true. So true implies true is true. True implies false is false. False implies true is true. False implies false is true. True implies true. True implies false. False implies true. And false implies false. Now P implies basically this right here. So now we can look at P implies QR. So true implies true. True implies false. True implies true. True implies true. False implies true. False implies false. False implies true. And false implies true. P implies Q. So we're looking at these two columns. So true implies true. True implies true. True implies false is false. True implies false is false. False implies true is true. False implies true is true. False implies false. False implies false are both true. Now P implies R. We're looking at these two columns. So true implies true. True implies true. True implies false is false. True implies true is true. True implies false is false. False implies true is true. False implies false is true. False implies true is true. False implies false is true. Let me just double check. True implies false. False implies true. False implies false. False implies true. False implies false. That's correct. So now we're going to look at this segment and this segment. Well, there they are right there. So true implies true is true. True implies false is false. False implies true is true. False implies false is true. And then the rest of these are true since they're all true implies true. So now we have this segment and this segment that we're looking at. And that is another implication right there. So true implies true. Well, that's true. False implies false. That's true. True implies true is true. 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 And true. If it wasn't clear, I was looking at this column, because of this segment is right here, and this segment is right here, and basically the value of this is located in this column, and the truth value of this is located in this column. So true, everything comes out to true. So this is, as a matter of fact, a tautology, and it's a lot easier to do than the other way that we did it.